No one tells you this when you get into real estate, but had I known this information coming in, oh my gosh, it would have saved me so much stress, time, self doubt. So, if you're curious, if you're new, if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, if you're thinking about buying or selling, then this video is for you.
One, two, one, two, one, 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 one.
Hi, friends. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to Shandi HQ, aka Shandi Headquarters, where we talk about lifestyle, real estate, faith, and building a life that actually works for you. So if you're new here, I'm a local real estate agent here in the DMV. I love what I do. And I really do mean it. I really love what I do. But this is a vicious industry. And, my job here, look at it like this, right? I'm your big sister, just giving you a guide on real estate and the things that surround it. Thing number one, confidence comes after action. I thought I needed to feel confident before putting myself out there. And in all actuality, that's not the case. Confidence comes from doing, messing up, learning, and doing again, and repeating that cycle over and over and over again. And I noticed that a lot of new agents, when they come into the industry, it's kind of like, what do I do? I haven't had my first deal yet. I haven't closed. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. What is my niche? All these questions, right? It starts to flood your thought process, and just do, right? Keep that noise to a minimum. And if you hear something or you feel like, oh my gosh, I got to write this down, or this is overwhelming me, write it down, pocket it, write it down, put it away, and then look at your actions for the day. What am I doing? Am I making phone calls? Am I talking to people? Am I making social media posts? Am I engaging in real estate and showing my sphere that? So confidence comes from actions. It comes from doing. So take that momentum and build from it, and there your confidence will grow. Also, when it comes to stewarding and growing and building your confidence, podcasts, books, talk to agents that reflect the type of agent that you want to be. Surround yourself, your ears, your eyes, your thoughts, the things that you do with the people that you want to be like and aspire to be like. And in theory, that confidence will rub off on you as well. And you'll start to find your own flow. You'll start to find your own way of navigating real estate, whether you're new, you're seasoned, or, you're kind of in between. You'll get there. Just be patient and do the work. Thing two, real estate is more emotional than logical. This isn't just numbers and contracts. It's fear, hope, timelines, pressure. Understanding the emotional side of real estate is just as important as understanding the process. Remember, clients are people too. There are a lot of agents when they're first starting off, they have the first sale rush. And what happens is they get very nervous, right? It's kind of like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? This is my first transaction. I don't want them to know. I'm a little scared. What if something comes on their inspection report? All these questions start to flood your thought process. And although it can be emotional on your side as well, you have to remember that it's also emotional for the buyer and the seller. And so what we need to do is manage our emotions and really study emotional intelligence. Here's the thing, right? It's not something that could just be studied off the bat. You can in a way, but it's one of those things that you really have to learn. You have to go through the process, go through your own relationships, go through your relationships with your client, your family, your friends. I remember my first 2 years in real estate, my circle was just changing. I was going through self-development. I had a lot of, if you watch my first video and I explained like my story coming into the industry, I had a lot of emotional baggage, and it kind of clouded, I want to say, my judgment at the time. And so everything to me was so personal. Everything was so, oh my gosh, did I say something to upset them? They didn't call me back. The client ghosted me. The client doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And so I'm thinking that it's my fault that the client is going through this or responding this way. Don't take things personal, y'all. Clients are people too. They have lives. We don't know what goes on at home. We don't know what's going on with their kids at school, their family. We don't know what's happening with their parents. We don't know what's happening with their financial situation, with their job, with their hobbies, or whatever is going on. They might be on vacation. Maybe they took a last minute vacation and they just decided to shut off everything. I have seen so many different occasions where clients just go quiet. They go MIA. And they just have life going on. And so what happens is, as an agent, you can become emotional. And I want you to really hold on to the fact that clients are people too. And don't take it personal, right? They have their life going on. And also remember that clients, buyers, sellers, when you're making such a big purchase or you're selling something that you've held onto for years. If you're selling your very first home, it's emotional, right? Think about all the memories that are in the house, the kids growing up, you and your husband or your wife, or your partner, your sisters, your mom and dad growing up in the home. Like, there are so many memories that are in that one property. So going through the process of selling a home is a lot of work too, emotionally, right? We never know what goes on in the minds of our clients. And so what this means is just extend grace, right? Extend some grace and brush up on your emotional intelligence, because it is the number one tool that you can have in the real estate industry, right? This is an emotional place. Thing number 3, you don't have to know everything. Just be resourceful. When I first became an agent, I thought I had to know everything, to the point that I even lost some clients because I was too scared to take them on because I didn't have the experience. And I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't done a transaction like that before. Never mind. And what happened? I lost money. Like, I lost deals. And that was all because there was a lot of self-doubt there. And which is so silly, because in order to learn and to become knowledgeable, you've got to work through it. You've got to do it. So you don't have to know everything. Just be resourceful. And if you don't know what, find out who. Clients respect transparency, right? They would rather have you tell them, hey, I'm not 100% versed in this, but let me find someone who knows. Because the reality is, we're human. Who is to say that we are supposed to know everything in the real estate book from A to Z? And real estate is also very financial and very legal. We're not lawyers, okay? We're not accountants. There are other areas of the field that require such high level knowledge. We are just human. We are not computers. So when you find yourself at a fork in the road and your client is asking for some information, or there's a situation at hand that requires you to provide something that you may be limited on, just be honest. Just let them know, hey, I don't have this information right away, but I can get it for you, okay? Or, hey, I may not be the best person for this, but I know someone else who is. Thing 4, comparison will kill your progress. Whether you're a brand new agent or whether you're seasoned and you've been in the game for a little bit, watching other agents close faster than you and watching them post their highlights can make you feel like you're behind if you focus on that. Remember, your timeline is your timeline. Your journey is your journey, and you do not want to focus on the wrong thing. And what happens is, if we start taking eyes off of our business and we look at someone else's business, it can cause all sorts of things and all sorts of mess that we don't even want to be in. And I'm talking about envy, jealousy, greed, resentment. All these nasty and like negative mindsets will start to slowly, it's a seed planted, right? And so what you want to do is just pause. Anytime you feel that trigger or you feel like you're not doing enough, use what you're seeing. Use that visual as motivation. Use it as inspiration. How can I do my own thing with this? What can I bring to the table? What can I bring to social media that may not be this exact content, but inspired by this? Use ChatGPT and put that thought in there and have her give you a couple of ideas of what to say, what to post, what to put out there. But just remember, you're not behind. Your journey is your journey, and your timeline is your timeline. And that goes for anything, not just real estate. I'm talking about money, life, careers, relationships, all of that. So just keep that in mind. Your journey is your journey. Thing 5, systems matter more than motivation. Motivation is going to come and go. Okay. One day you're going to feel like doing it. The next day you're not. Another day you're going to feel like it. The next day you're tired. Okay. Systems are going to keep you in check. They are going to keep you in place when you don't feel like it. Now, if you have a busy brain or ADHD like myself, you want to make sure that your systems are intact, because there are days where you're going to feel frozen. There are days when you're not going to feel like doing things, but you still have to show up, and you show up because those systems are in place. I'm talking about checklists. I'm talking about time blocking, not over planning, making sure that you have small little routines in place for you so that you know when you're feeling that laziness or that weight starting to kick in, you can assume position and hit that system. Thing number 6, real estate will expose your relationship with money. This job forced me to look at my money mindset. When I first came into the industry and started to work with clients and realized that they had so much money to put down, or they had the finances going, it one made me look at my finances and make me question myself as to why and how can I get here? Why aren't I here and how can I get here? So one, it kind of planted a seed for back end work, but also two, when I transitioned into becoming a full time real estate agent, oh my gosh, entrepreneurship is not for the weak, y'all. Like, literally, you have to look at finances different than a W 2 because now your source of income comes from closings, it comes from clients. And if you're not doing the activities, if you're not making the calls and you're not building those relationships and meeting clients and closing on homes, it is going to affect your pocket, right? It is going to affect how you show up to pay rent, pay mortgage, pay your car notes, pay if you're considering going from leasing to purchasing a car, thinking about all your other bills, right? Your internet, your utilities, all these things, right? Do you want to pay them in bulk? Do you want to pay them portion by month? It challenges you and it kind of shifts your perspective because you have options now. And as an entrepreneur, there are months where you can get 5 digits. There are heavy months, right? And there are other months where you might just get 4 or you might just get 3. You just never know. But the fluctuation, right? That's what's going to kind of give you that headspace to say, hey, this is not the consistent W-2 income. This is a different type of income. What can I do to prepare myself so that I don't see a rainy day? Also, fun fact, according to the National Association of Realtors, women are the number one demographic of homeowners. So ladies, good job. Just make sure, stay on top of your money. Check your finances every day. Be big about your budget. Remember, wealth is learned. Sometimes it's inherited, but for the most part, it is learned. And even if you do inherit, if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the knowledge and the tools to really steward your money, you can lose it so quickly. So get on top of that mindset when it comes to understanding finances on a deeper level. And I'm talking about really understanding your triggers. For example, I used to be stressed, sad, go shopping, right? Go get something to eat. That's not always the case. That's not how you should operate. Think about saving, investing. Do you have any retirement accounts open? What do they look like? A Roth, a 401k? Do you put your money into stocks? What does your debt look like? How much do you owe your credit cards? What's the interest rate on them? I'm talking about a deep dive. So yeah, guys, get serious with it. Thing number 7, this career changes you if you let it. Real estate didn't just teach me how to sell homes. It taught me discipline, self-trust, and patience. And for a girl like me who is always thinking about perfecting something before putting it out there, it taught me that growth comes before perfection. And in order to grow, there needs to be some type of action with it. So in other words, just do it. I know that's very Nike and cliche, but that's the reality. So if you're new, if you're just starting off, if you feel like you're a little stuck, you're not. You're building. You're building. If you want more real estate friendly conversations, tips, advice, direction, comment starting so I know you're here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if this video resonated with you, and I'll see you next time.
1 2 1 2 1 2